Hello, I am Miss Mockmer, the elementary school speech pathologist.
And I'm Mrs. Smith. I am the second grade science teacher here at Canton Elementary School.
Both Mrs. Smith and I have noticed that the second grade students struggle to understand the language provided to them during the science class, as well as using language relative to the science subject. So we've decided to create this lesson plan to target science material that use oral, visual, and hands-on exercises to help them gain knowledge.
Okay, let's start by reviewing the facts about the moon. Miss Smith, do you remember what was formed when a large object hit the Earth and blasted out rocks that all came together and orbited around Earth?
Mrs. Smith, the moon was formed when this happened. How old is the moon?
Miss Mockmer, the moon is around 4.5 billion years old. Do you remember what the surface of the moon looks like?
Mrs. Smith, doesn't the moon have craters, mountains, and valleys on its surface?
You are correct, Miss Mockmer. Is there any way I can see these markings?
Mrs. Smith, you can see the surface of the moon through a small telescope or binoculars.
Miss Mockmer, who was the first person to walk on the moon?
It was Neil Armstrong. How cool would that be to be the first person to walk on the moon? Mrs. Smith, is there any precipitation on the moon?
No, there is not, because there is specifically no wind. The footprints on the moon will be visible forever, unless someone else walks over top of them. Okay, let's start. Children, what was formed when a large object hit the Earth and blasted out rocks? Please raise your hands. Tanner? Yes, the moon is correct. Can anyone tell me what the moon is made of? Do you have a suggestion? Let's write them down.
Rocks. I heard rocks. What else could the moon be made of? Dirt. Okay. They're both really good answers. Anyone else have a suggestion? Snow. Mountains. Okay. Anything else?
Okay, now that we have our list, let's eliminate a few of the options written on the board to decide which answer best fits the question of what is the moon made of? So which one do you think we can take off? Snow? Alright, let's cross off snow.
Say why.
Alright, who else would like to try? Dirt? Okay, let's cross off dirt. Anybody else? Chase, very good. Let's cross off mountains. So that leaves us with rocks. That is the correct answer.
Okay, class. Now I'm gonna ask you the question, how old is the moon? Anyone have a guess or remember what we talked about last class? Yes?
4.5 million
You are correct.
or billion.
Billion, yes. 4.5 billion years. So how do we know the age of the moon? Okay, since no one knows the answer to that question, let me rephrase my question. We know that the moon is 4.5 billion years old. If you were traveling to the moon, what would you bring back to Earth with you to help us find the age? Any suggestions? Go ahead.
An alien.
Alien? Okay. Chase, what would you say? Rocks, okay. Anyone else have a sample? Oh, go ahead.
The spaceship.
A spaceship? Okay. Is that everyone's guess? Alrighty. So let's go through now and eliminate the guesses that we think will not work for the question. So let's start with alien. Do you think you would bring an alien back to the Earth? Well, that would be really cool, but probably not. So let's eliminate alien. Okay, now let's talk about spaceship. For spaceship, do you think, how are you going to get it back? Are you going to pull it back? Are you going to...
I don't think you'll be able to drive it back.
So I think we'll be safe to eliminate spaceship. So that leaves us with rocks. Does everyone agree that rocks are a good answer? Okay. We'll move on to the next question then.
Okay. What does the surface of the moon look like? Now I want you to take out your colored pencils and draw the surface on the moon on the piece of paper in front of you. Take your time, make a nice drawing. Garrett, don't be scribbling. Darby, that's very nice. You're doing a wonderful job. Very nice, Chase. That looks good, Tanner. Okay. Has everybody had a chance to finish their drawing? Who would like to stand up and show the class the drawing of your moon? All right, Darby, let's see your drawing. Can you please explain to the class what you drew? Yes, you are correct. There are craters, moons, and valleys on the moon.
Everyone give her a round of applause for her drawing.
Thank you, Darby. You can sit down now.
Okay, class, so now we're going to talk about the surface of the moon. Is there any way to see the surface of the moon? Garrett, go ahead. In the sky at night. Okay. Who else has an idea? Tanner?
Telescope.
Telescope. Okay. Anyone else? Darby, what about you? Binoculars. Good answer. Okay, now that we have a list, I want you all to look at the list of the ways we decided that you see the moon. We know that the moon is very far away. Could you turn that for the class? We know that the moon is very far away, so we would need to look at it through something that makes objects look bigger. So, let's narrow it down. Let's take one choice out right now. Which one of these would not make the moon look bigger? Tanner?
Number 1.
Number 1, in the sky at night. Correct. You will be able to see the moon at night, but probably not the surface. Alright, and what about the other two answers? Telescope and binoculars, would both of them work? Chase, okay, you are correct. You can use both of those answers to see the surface of the moon at night.
Okay, class. Next, I want all of you to pair up with one person to help you answer this question. Who was the first person to walk on the moon? Tanner, what do you think?
Superman. He can do anything.
All right, let's write down Superman. Tara, what's your guess? Neil Armstrong? Okay. Who else has a guess? Chase?
Shrek.
Okay, let's write down Shrek.
And Donkey.
And
Okay, so let's take this list. Have all these people walked on the moon? No, you're correct. They have not. So let's see. Who can we eliminate from the board? Remember, I'm looking only for the first person who walked on the moon. So which one can we cross off? Shrek and Donkey? Yes, I think we can cross off Shrek and Donkey. Okay. Of the two left, what do you think? Yes, Superman is everyone's hero, but I think you're correct. We can cross him off too. So Tara, you were correct. Neil Armstrong was the first person to walk on the moon.
Alright, class. We have one more question. Is there any precipitation on the moon? Yes, you are correct. No, there is not precipitation on the moon. But can you raise your hand to tell me a type of precipitation that we have learned about in class? Darby? Rain? Yes. Chase? Snow? Okay. Who else has an idea? Hail? That is correct. And sleet. Good choice. So we have to remember, in order to have precipitation, there needs to be water in an atmosphere. The moon doesn't have an atmosphere, right? You're correct. No, it does not.
So because the moon has no atmosphere, there is no weather at all. Since there's no weather at all, there is no wind. So what does that mean will stay on the moon? For those of you who said footprints, you are correct. Because there is no wind, the footprints on the moon will not go away unless someone else steps on the same footprint.
Okay, great job with class today, students. Now I'm going to have you write a sentence on your piece of lined paper in front of you about something that you learned in class today. When you're all finished, raise your hand and I'll be around to collect it. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, just raise your hand when you're finished and we'll come over and get your paper. And we have a worksheet to give you that will list the facts that we learned in class today about the moon, and you will have it for future references.